Welcome back to the 628 Dirt Rooster channel, where hobby beekeeping is a way of life. These hives I'm looking at are not mine. They belong to a commercial beekeeper, and I don't know, the boxes aren't stamped, but I have a pretty good idea who they belong to. I got a call from a guy to come look at a hive under his porch, and I'm not there yet, but I'm assuming he's right over there on the other side of that wood line. So he said it'd been there for 5 days. And a lot of times when people say that, you go look at it and it's been there for a long time and they've just noticed it. But since I see these boxes sitting here and I see another one right there on the front with a good pile of bees on them, so I'm gonna go look at this guy's porch and see what I can do with them. And they've probably only been there 5 days, like he said, so that'll be a good thing. Let's see what we've got.
It's been spread.
Oh, you've been wearing this jacket?
Yeah.
We'll put that raincoat down there and check them out. They're coming in at the top of that joist there. We'll go in here and see what I can see. I can't see them. They're going up in that belly cloth. They done found them a void in the insulation there. Looks like there's a bad spot in that wall. Where they're entering. I bet I know where they're at. They're right on top of this, I bet. Cause this don't go all the way to the floor of the home. So I can get my fingers up in there. Okay, so I've been looking for a few minutes. The cable man has been up in here. This ain't no longer being used, but this kind of made a void in here, and I can't really see where they're working, so I'm feeling for a cluster up in here, and I feel them, I believe. Feels like they found I'm touching them. They found a hollow spot in the insulation and they're hollowing it out as they work. When I pulled this tape back, a bunch of trash fell in my face that they've been digging out of there. Alright, made a quick stop through the Home Depot. That was my initial inspection on that little hive there. I'm not going to show the removal on this video. This video is mainly to show another income source for hobby beekeepers or a part-time income source for whoever. It was what the guy said it was. It was a small little colony that just moved in. They hadn't really set up shop yet. Swarmed in within the past, he said 5 days. I'd take his word for it. I'd go for that. Typically when I go look at something like that, I go prepared to remove them if I have the time. Today I did not go prepared. I didn't intend to remove them today because I knew he'd already told me they were in the floor of his porch. And so with the shoulder deal I'm going through right now, I knew I couldn't do it by myself because you got to have one arm to hold yourself up and the other arm to work with. So I'm going to have help with this one, and I didn't have anyone lined up to help me, and I didn't talk price with him over the phone because I really didn't know what I was getting into, because a lot of times somebody said they've been there 5 days, you give them a price over the phone, and when you show up they've been there for a long time and they just didn't notice them until swarming action happened. So he agreed to my price, and I'm very fair with my prices, but I don't have a standard price because it varies depending on the job. It depends on if I have to remove them from inside or outside the home, and it depends on if they're big and established or if they're brand new, or if it's a diseased hive, or if they've been spraying poison on them, all that kind of stuff. And unfortunately this guy had been hosing the side of his house down with wasp spray. That's the kind of stuff you don't want in your equipment, so a lot of people won't even do removals on a hive that's been sprayed. I will. I just know which equipment I had them on, and I keep it separate from everything else. So he used half a can of spray. He didn't do a lot of damage. He wasn't up under the house spraying, and he couldn't have gotten to him anyway because I barely could touch him without pulling insulation back. So as far as poison in the hive itself and in the comb and all that, there's not going to be an issue there. This guy, he's an older gentleman, and he's got diabetes, and he says he's allergic to bees. I doubt it. I think he just has a localized reaction, but I'm sure he's a pretty bad diabetic from what I gather. I'm sure that being that, he doesn't want to be stung on his lower extremities and have a wound to have to take care of. So he wants them out. And he did agree to my price, so I'll be back over there to get them. I just got to get help lined up and get my equipment ready to go. So for anyone who, and I did another beekeeping video about part-time income for hobby beekeepers. This is just another one. Just another revenue source if you're interested. You can't, a lot of people think that bee rescue should be done for free, and you just can't keep that up. You can't sustain that for any length of time. I did do a lot of removals in the beginning just because when I was a new beekeeper, I just wanted the bees, and I didn't care at that time. But after I got rolling pretty good and I started getting so many calls, you pretty quickly realize that you can't keep the pace up. It takes time away from your family, it takes time away from work, because this is not my job. I'm not a pest control service. I don't work for one, don't run one, don't represent one. I'm just a hobby beekeeper, so this is not my main source of income, and everything I do with this takes time away from everything else, family, work, whatever. So there is an income potential there, and you'll have to price it accordingly. Just be fair. Don't gouge anybody. Kind of know what you're doing going in. It's best if you know construction. I'm very well versed in construction. I don't know if you can see a load of lumber in the back of my truck, but that kind of sometimes makes me the best guy for the job. So this is just another income stream if you're a beekeeper and so inclined to go out and do removals. You know, a lot of people, forewarning here, a lot of people expect you to rescue the bees for free. I don't know what they think for free means, because somebody has to pay for the gas, somebody has to build the boxes and the frames to put them in, and somebody has to supply the tools, the saws, the extension cords, the bee vac. All this stuff's got to come from somewhere, so this can't be a free service for very long anyway. I mean, there are a lot of guys that will do it for free, but they won't do it for free for very long, and they always run out of steam every time. I know a lot of them, and I was one of them. So it's there if you want it. Some people make a full-time living with it. I'm not one of those, and I don't know what else to say about it. That's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and go out and get you some bees. Peace.
A subscriber of yours before I knew that you were, Randy from church. Well, I knew you since last year, but when I got them bees, I started reading stuff, and I found a YouTube channel, and I was like, great, man, this is awesome, all kinds of good stuff. And then you told me at church that you were 628 Dirt Rooster. Small world.
I'm usually incognito. Have you got enough vacuum? Is it pulling bees?
It is not too strong, but
Yeah, you don't want it too strong.
yeah,
As long as it's pulling them in is all you want.
yeah, they're doing all right. Here, do you want me to hold that? Alright, so just trying to. I just want to get a short little video. Times I deserved it. I was out there messing with them on a day like cloudy and, you know, overcast days that, you know, you shouldn't be out there messing with them anyway.
Yeah.
The other time I was wearing cologne. They don't like that cologne.
So, pretty new comb. It's a good size hive under here. They're probably 3 weeks, a month old, something like that. They've only noticed them in the past week and a half.
Yeah, that's all just bees, man. No comb under there. They're just trying to expand it out.
Alright, I'm back for this one. I don't remember if I ever showed the house before. This is that one I did an inspection on the other day. I guess I'll tag this on the back of that video. Got a friend helping here from church, and he's just getting into it, so he's getting some removal experience here. And the surroundings are kind of a little bit of wetland, lowland. Plenty for him to eat around here. All that across the street's just pine trees. Ain't nothing for them to eat over there, but there's blooming stuff all around. There's tie in the woods and honeysuckle and pastures. Wow, that's a huge pasture. I didn't even notice that. Yep. What time do you think it is? Time to be wrapping this up. About halfway done. It's a good sized little colony under here. We got started kind of late. I like to remove these little ones without the vacuum, but as late as we started, I didn't have a choice on that. Got to get them out and get them home. So this is what we've framed up so far. All this comb either has larvae or eggs in it. Not a heck of a lot, but it's something to start with. Got some bees under the box trying to find their way in.